born noble, but poor. Julius Caesar grew up in the Suburra, Rome's most dangerous slum. Here, he learned the harsh streets. He understood what everyday Romans feared and loved. During his youth, the ruthless dictator, Sulla, violently seized control of Rome. Sulla ordered Caesar to divorce his wife. Caesar looked him in the eye and refused, stripped of his inheritance, and marked for death. Caesar fled into the wild mountains. Life on the run was brutal. Battling deadly fever, he bribed hunters to survive. Relatives begged for his life. Sulla agreed, but warned. I see many Mariuses in this boy. Still unsafe. Caesar joined the army and sailed to Asia. In his very first campaign, he showed zero fear, saving a fellow soldier in battle. For this bravery, he won the civic crown, Rome's highest military honor. Sailing to Greece, his ship was hijacked by deadly Cilician pirates. They demanded 20 talents of silver. Caesar laughed, claiming he was worth at least 50. Treating his captors like servants, he confidently bossed them around and read them poetry. He joked he would return to crucify them. The pirates just laughed. It wasn't a joke. Once freed, he raised a navy, hunted them down, and kept his promise. Years later, in Spain, Caesar stared at a statue of Alexander the Great. He wept, saying, "At my age, Alexander conquered the world. I have done nothing." Caesar returned to Rome, hungry for power, throwing massive parties to win public love. But buying popularity cost millions. Soon he was Rome's most in-debt citizen. Angry creditors physically blocked him from leaving the city. Marcus Crassus, Rome's richest man, paid the debts to use Caesar's massive popularity. Gambling everything, Caesar ran for Pontifex Maximus, the highest priest in Rome. Kissing his mother, he vowed, "Today I return as high priest, or not at all." He won! The victory granted him political immunity and a luxurious central Roman estate. Seeking ultimate control, he formed the first Triumvirate, with wealthy Crassus and General Pompey. Caesar provided the brains and the unwavering love of the Roman people. Elected consul, Caesar faced Bibulus, his co-consul, who tried blocking every single law. Caesar's supporters rioted, chasing Bibulus away and dumping manure on his head. Bibulus hid forever. Romans joked it was the year of Julia and Caesar, needing wealth and military glory. Caesar assigned himself as governor of Gaul. The Gallic Wars began when he ruthlessly blocked the migrating Helvetii tribe. It was a slaughter. Caesar instantly proved his genius on the battlefield. Next came the fierce Germans. Caesar's men were terrified of these giant warriors. He shamed them, threatening to fight the Germans alone, with only his favorite 10th Legion. The reverse psychology worked. Ashamed and enraged, his men crushed the German king. No Roman army had ever crossed the deadly Rhine River. Caesar changed history. He ordered his engineers to build a massive, complex wooden bridge across raging waters. Built in just 10 days, this engineering miracle terrified the German tribes. Caesar crossed over, burned empty villages to prove his power, then marched back to send a final message. He destroyed his own masterpiece behind him. Never satisfied, Caesar looked across the ocean to the mystical land of Britain. His first invasion failed. A massive storm destroyed his ships on the alien coast. British warriors attacked the stunned Romans with terrifying woad paint and war chariots. Always calm, Caesar organized a shield wall, repelled the attack, and escaped. He returned next year with an armada so huge, the British surrendered immediately. While Caesar was away, Gaul rebelled. A brilliant chieftain named Vercingetorix united the tribes. Vercingetorix burned his own cities and farms to starve the invading Romans. During a brutal winter, Caesar stayed with his starving men, eating the same terrible rations. Finally, Caesar trapped Vercingetorix inside the massive hilltop fortress of Alesia. Instead of attacking, Caesar built a massive wall entirely around the city. Then, terrifying news. A Gallic relief army of 250,000 approached from behind. Caesar's genius solution? He built a second wall, facing outward. The Romans were now completely surrounded, sandwiched between two wooden walls of their own making. The Gauls breached the outer defenses. Rome was on the brink of total defeat. Seeing his lines break, Caesar threw on his famous red cloak and charged in. Inspired by their general fighting hand to hand, the Romans fought like demons and held. Broken, Vercingetorix surrendered his armor. Caesar had finally conquered all of Gaul. Now Rome's richest man, a terrified Senate ordered Caesar to disband his army. His old ally Pompey had turned against him, siding with corrupt politicians. Crossing the Rubicon River into Italy with an army meant a total civil war. He paused, tossed dice into the mud, and declared, "The die is cast." Splashing through the river, Caesar's legendary army began the Roman Civil War, caught off guard. Pompey and the Senate abandoned Rome in a total panic. Taking Rome peacefully, Caesar shocked everyone by pardoning his enemies instead of killing them. Chasing Pompey, he crossed the Winter Sea, risking everything to end the war. They met at Pharsalus. Pompey had twice the men and a massive cavalry advantage. Caesar brilliantly ordered hidden soldiers to stab upward at the horses' faces, terrified of having their handsome faces scarred. Pompey's wealthy cavalry broke and ran. Pompey's army was crushed, but Caesar again spared any Roman who surrendered. Pompey fled in disguise, seeking shelter with the young king of Egypt. Days later, Caesar arrived. The Egyptian king offered a basket to win his favor. Inside was Pompey's severed head. The Egyptians had murdered him. Caesar was furious. Pompey was his enemy, but still, a respected Roman consul. Staying to settle royal disputes, a beautiful carpet was smuggled into Caesar's room. It unrolled to reveal the brilliant Princess Cleopatra, seeking his help for the throne. Captivated by her charm and intellect, they formed a powerful romantic alliance. The boy king attacked. Caesar was trapped in the palace, fighting brutal street battles. Once, he swam for his life, holding vital documents above water with one hand. Reinforcements arrived. Caesar defeated the king, crowning Cleopatra the undisputed queen of Egypt. On his way home, he crushed an Asian rebellion so fast it was laughable. He reported to the Senate in 3 words. Veni, vidi, vici. I came, saw, conquered. Now the undisputed master of Rome, Caesar was named dictator for life, but he held a dark secret. Sudden, violent seizures he hid from the public. As dictator, he fixed the broken Roman calendar that was out of sync. Using Egyptian science, he created the 365-day Julian calendar we still use today. He helped the poor, rewarded veterans, and built massive temples. The people adored him, but the elite senators hated him, fearing he would destroy the republic as king. During a festival, Mark Antony offered Caesar a golden crown. The crowd went silent. Caesar dramatically pushed it away, and the crowd cheered wildly. This was the last straw. A conspiracy formed, led by his close friend Brutus. The night before the Ides of March, his wife dreamed of him, covered in blood. She begged him to stay home. Out of love, Caesar almost listened. A treacherous conspirator mocked him, asking if the Senate must wait upon his wife's dreams. Walking to the Senate, a soothsayer warned, "Beware, the Ides of March." Caesar smiled. "The Ides have come." The prophet replied, "Aye, but not gone." Inside, the conspirators crowded around him with fake petitions, pulling his purple toga. Suddenly, a dagger struck. Caesar fought back like a lion, throwing his attacker aside. But dozens more blades flashed. He was completely surrounded in the harsh light. He fought until he saw Brutus, a man he loved like a son, holding a knife. Heartbroken, Caesar stopped fighting. He pulled his toga over his face, to die with dignity. Stabbed 23 times. He fell dead at the base of his old rival, Pompey's statue. The assassins rushed out with bloody daggers, shouting that they had freed Rome. But the ordinary people didn't see a dead tyrant. They saw their murdered hero. The people rioted, burning the assassins' houses in a massive funeral pyre. The Republic fell. A comet appeared. The people believed it was Caesar becoming a god, changing history forever.